Good morning. Welcome to Investigator News, and I'm your host, Ellie, and I'm feeling a little better today. I got my voice back. I was pretty hoarse yesterday. And so, wow, we got some storms heading this way. Now, the hurricane, it is, I don't know if I have pulled up the report for it or not. Um, it has been over Mexico and it is now a tropical storm warning for the Gulf. Looks like it might be heading towards Florida. So, those in Florida, heads up. You could get a lot of downpour rain and flooding and flash flooding. Now, today, boy, it's going to hit us here in Arkansas. So, those of you watching that are in Arkansas, batten down the hatches. This is going to be a big one. And it's growing as it comes across. And those in Arkansas, it's, I believe, right about Fort Smith, and it's heading this way. So, heads up. So I'm going to probably get it this afternoon and through the evening. So hopefully we don't hear thunder and lightning tonight when I do the show. Now, tonight's show is still part of the series. So I got to check with William and see if he, I don't know. I think it's best I push on by my own for tonight, but that's okay. It's very intense today for the show. So with that, I'm going to get on with the weather, get the weather forecast out of the way, and our beautiful weather lady that I enjoy having. So here we go.
Look at your national forecast. Heat and thunderstorms, that's going to dominate much of the country through the rest of the week. So we're tracking the cold front moving to the east. That will kick off the thunderstorms, but notice all the heat that's to the east. So basically all along the Gulf up through the northeast, that's where the heat will be through the rest of the week. Now, as we get into Friday out to the west, notice the temperatures here. Seattle, a little bit on the cooler side, 62 for your high with rain in the forecast. Sacramento, 84. Los Angeles, you're looking at 75. So that cooler air will be lurking out to the west as we go into the weekend. Saturday, it stays in the 70s in Los Angeles. We'll have the heat all along the Gulf with the threat of thunderstorms through the middle part of the country and Florida.
Boy, did you see over there by Vegas, 100 degrees, but then it cools off. And everyone's, if you're new, I just want to let you know that when we get a lot of active volcanoes, which 90% of our volcanoes are active, it causes kind of like a greenhouse effect. I'm sorry. And it will lower our temperatures. And it has all around the globe. I'm seeing lower temperatures. So I'm going to move along here. Okay, so I'm going to get to the earthquakes. And boy, this is something, folks. I wish I could pull that up a lot bigger for you guys. We have some bigger ones. We have Papua New Guinea at 5.1, and you see it's left the Fiji area. And then we go up around Japan, and then they had a 5.2 in Attic, Alaska. And we don't see them all choo-choo trained up. We see them going over into the States and going down the mid-Craton Craton fault line. Boy, okay, so start that over again. So if the mid Craton goes down through the center of the United States and it goes back up into the eastern coast. Now, if it don't do that by tomorrow, then I'm going to bring you guys up all the ones and twos that show you just how dense these earthquakes are. Because when you add in the ones and the twos, you get a lot of earthquakes, and you could just see the whole earth alive. So we have one in Stanley, Idaho, a 2.5. Then we have one in Thomas Springs, Utah. So if you're around Utah, this is an odd place for it. Around Thomas Springs, and you felt something this morning, It's probably the earthquake. Then the last one is down in Malaga, New Mexico. That's a 2.8. So we go back up where the geysers in California, and that's Clear Lake. That's where you could pick up Clear Lake diamonds. It looks like crystals, and you could pick them up off the ground. It's fun for the family. A ridge crest, a 3.1. One of the biggest earthquakes I remember as a kid was the one at Ridge Crest, and it's pretty far down and away from Sacramento. And we felt it. We felt it, and it was weird that it was way down there, and we felt it. Next one is Manadero, Mexico, a 2.7. And then we have one in Gruelis Margin Derecha, Mexico. And we don't see them here in these spots. So I'm reading them off. And then another one in Jiquillo, Nicaragua, that's a 4.9. And that's where we don't feel them. And we will, of course, get them over in Puerto Rico. I just want to say Puerto Rico, I'm surprised that we don't hear more visitors and tourists saying that they feel something there. So that's what we're looking at over there. On Puerto Rico, we have a 3.5, and we have OJ, Ojai, or something like that, 3.1. And then and that's in Puerto Rico. And then down in South America, in Chile, 4.2. Another one in Chile of a 4.0. And Bolivia, Tacha, 4.1. Now, what's weird is when we start seeing them over, like Linquoin, China, a 5.9. That's a big one. Then we seen one way over in Afghanistan, in Pagam, and that was a 2.7. And then another one in Iran, which Kish, a 4.6. And that could be explosions. Sometimes they'll list it in blue on me or yellow when it's explosions, but it's not listed like that. But that is weird for Iran to get an earthquake out of the blue, as well as Afghanistan and even into China in places. So I'm going to move on. And they have got a warning for hepatitis linked to strawberries. So I'm going to play you this, and I shouldn't get copyrighted on it, but it'll give you an idea of what's going on.
Whether an outbreak of hepatitis A is linked to consumption of strawberries. Officials are focusing on strawberries sold under the Fresh Campo and HEB brands between March 5th and April 25th. Although it's now past their shelf life, authorities are concerned about anyone who might have frozen the strawberries. The strawberries were sold by Kroger, Trader Joe's, Safeway, Aldi, Walmart, and HEB. If you got any of those strawberries, you should throw them out. And if you happen to eat them, you should contact your healthcare professional. There have been 17 cases of hepatitis A in the United States, recently a dozen of which required hospitalization. There have been 10 cases in Canada. Hepatitis A is a contagious disease that can lead to liver disease. It can be caused by a food handler who did not follow proper hand washing procedures.
Wow, huh? So if you shopped at any of those stores and you bought some of them strawberries and you froze them, or like she said, if you just be careful. I would thoroughly wash your strawberries at this point until we hear that the risk is gone. So let's see. The a lot of us, we get those little pet goldfish, and don't get tired of them, and don't just flush them, and don't go throw them out in the river, because what happens is it's an invasive species, and that's where we got, I believe they call it the Chinese carp, where they jump out of the water. I know everybody has seen it on some of the shows, and it's kind of funny, and they jump up and they hit these people in their boats, and that's an invasive species, and we don't need goldfish in there clogging up our waterways. And so here we go. I'm going to let you listen to this one.
Don't just throw it in a river or pond. Give it to a friend who needs a pet instead. Putting a goldfish in nature could be a lot more consequential than you realize. The goldfish would be an invasive species that's not native to the surroundings. And scientists say it could cause a lot of trouble. New research shows they have voracious appetites and could eat up food that other fish depend on. They're also able to tolerate cold conditions, so they could be around for a while. Researchers in the United Kingdom took a closer look at goldfish in response to a problem stemming from the pandemic. Many people got goldfish and other pets during lockdown, and now some people are getting tired of them. So, while it might seem humane to release your goldfish into the wild, it's just not a good idea.
So give the goldfish to somebody else. Uh, um, let's see. Well, no, I didn't want that one. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let me move back to me again. Mice. They're claiming that there is a lot of mice and rats that's invading these inner cities. So if you live in one of these major cities, you might be seeing an increase in mice. And they can fit into or fit through to get into your kitchen or wherever. You think of a quarter, the size of a quarter, or just maybe a little bit smaller. And mice can fit through that, full grown mice. They are a health hazard. And they say how you would spot it is you'll see some crumbs, you'll see some black oval. It's uh, they leave droppings everywhere they go. As they run, they leave these droppings, and they're black. You start seeing little black, it looks like pellets on the floor, then you're having some issues and time to get the sticky trap. Um, oh boy, I got to tell you guys this. This is I always have funny stories. Things always happen to me. Well, I had some neighbors that were hoarders, and they had rats. And I was like, oh my gosh. And when they moved, then our whole neighborhood was plagued, and everybody was complaining about it as we were going out and getting our mail. And um, we were outside talking to one another, and everybody's complaining they got these rats. And so I was going to get little sticky traps. And I remember these things are about that long without the tail. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't need them in my house. So I put down the little pellets that they eat, and also the sticky trap. It's big. It's a big one. And I put a little bit of peanut butter on it, and I was hoping, and I seen that it was something was eating at the pellets, and then everything went quiet over there, and so I'm waiting, and it's in our utility room, and next to our utility room is our bathroom. And I thought I heard something one night, and I went and looked, and I didn't really pay attention. And so the following morning, I was doing something in the kitchen, and I happened to look over in the utility room, and I seen that the trap was missing. And so I looked further to find out where did it go. Well, not only did it have toilet paper stuck to it, it had something else. I can't remember what it was, and my toilet brush. Now, my toilet brush, I normally keep behind my toilet. Now, this was in the doorway of the bathroom. So, more than likely, the little guy got stuck, was trying to get loose. I guess he'd done a round around my toilet, grabbed my toilet brush, drug it around with him in my bathroom, and then he got loose. Uh, oh boy. I thought about it, and I'm thinking of him dragging the trap and the toilet brush and the toilet paper and everything else that was stuck to the trap that he managed to get into. Oh, and a sponge. So yeah, but keep an eye on this. We don't want them pesky mice in our house. And they said it's only inner cities, or if you live in a major city, there has been an increase in mice and rats. Oh, funny pets. Oh boy. So, you can't blame the dog for trying. There was this golden, it looks like a golden retriever, and certainly not when they're super cute and you love your pets. And um, so this couple had been trying to teach their dog to make less of a mess in their house. It had a problem with tearing up toilet paper and taking it off the roll. So they were getting on him quite a bit, and they sure weren't. They weren't sure if they had been making any headway, and they were finding less and less torn up toilet paper. So what they had done was they went away one day and they came home to find um, that about 2 feet of toilet paper or more, they're saying they think more like 4 feet of toilet paper had been unrolled, then simply rolled back up. It was loose, but it was haphazardly re-rolled and somehow rolled up back sloppily, they said. And they could just imagine her playing with it and remembering she wasn't allowed to get the toilet paper and rolled it back up. They said it looked like someone that had rolled it up on their hand and then just left it in the middle of the floor. So now they have noticed that this golden retriever is now rolling toilet paper for them and leaving it in the middle of the floor. So she isn't tearing it up into little bitty pieces. She's just rolling it up and leaving it. I don't know. I wouldn't use it myself. And then get this. She got a hold of the paper towels and had done the same thing to it. So now they have to be real careful about leaving the paper towels where the dog could get it. So yes. So trying to fix the mess is very impressive, they said. Very smart. So, so with that, folks, that is the end of the weather for today. And stay dry if you're in the middle of the rain, or if you're in Florida, start preparing because this hurricane could build up into something. It's still real, I think, right about a 1. So batten down the hatches. And those around Arkansas, we're in for a storm today. Even Oklahoma into maybe even Tennessee and parts of Illinois. It's all the way up to Michigan almost. So with that, you guys have a wonderful day. And be sure to come on back in about 45 minutes. And we'll be doing the next part of the series. And today I'm going to be revealing what it was going on in Ukraine and why there might be a war, and us sending money to Ukraine to help fight it. What are they doing with all that money? Are they spending it on weapons, or where's this money going? So with that, we will see you all in about 45 minutes. So come on back and join us, and have a nice day. And God bless. Be sure to subscribe and share. And over on Facebook, we have a lot of fans over there. And I thank you for adding us. We've had quite a few. And I believe Greg for sharing. So we'll see you in 45 minutes, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.